Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing a real and a fake pair of Nike Air Max 97s and pointing out the differences between the two pairs so that when you're looking to purchase a pair for yourself, hopefully you'll be able to look for these differences and avoid buying a fake pair in the belief that they're actually a real pair. So with that said, let's start the video. So starting with the boxes, you'll see that the design and print on them is pretty much the same. However, there's a size difference and the real one on the left is quite a lot bigger than the fake one on the right. If we take a look at the size label on the side of the boxes, however, there's a few little points to look out for. So on the real one here, you'll see that the size label is quite small in comparison to the rest of the box, so it just takes up a small little corner here. The background of the label is also similar to the colour of the box. However, on the fake one, you'll see that the label is a lot bigger. It takes up most of this side of the box and leaves just a little gap here. And the background colour of it is a pink sort of colour rather than a similar colour to the rest of the box. Also on the real pair, you'll see that there's a small barcode in the bottom right which doesn't appear on the fake ones. And also for the colourway we're looking at today, it's this black and white colourway, so the product code should be this one, 9218260001. However, the box here that they've given me for the fake pair is for a different colourway and the barcode doesn't match, so it's worth checking when you get a pair just to make sure that the barcode matches up to the actual colourway you've got inside the box. If we now open up the boxes, you'll see that on the real pair, when I open them up, the shoes are wrapped in this tissue paper material. And also if we look inside the lid of the box, there is a stamp in some red print just there. So that's definitely something to look out for when checking if the box is a real one. However, if we look on the fake one, you'll see that straight away there's no tissue paper with the shoes. Also, they come with these extras, so spare laces, spare socks, anything like that. It's just a giveaway that they're fake because no real pairs come with any of those extras. And also, if we look at the lid of the box, there's no stamp inside in that red writing, so also a giveaway there. So moving on to the shoes themselves, keeping the real pair on the left and the fake pair on the right. If we take a look at the heel of each shoe, you'll see that they both have this Air Max text printed on the heel. However, on the real pair, it's in this bold white print, whereas on the fake pair, the print's a lot less clear. It's a sort of cheaper looking print. The space in between as well is a lot different. So there's a big gap between Air and Max, but each word is quite closely put together on the real pair. Whereas if you look at the fake pair here, the spacing is quite big between all of the letters there. Also, the stitching on the real pair that runs up the side is white. However, on the fake pair here, it's silver. So again, that's a big giveaway that it's fake because that's a completely different colour. And also, there's some excess bits of material here on the fake pair. So lots of stitching hanging loose and stuff like that. So that's something to look out for, not just on these, but any fake pairs of shoes you want to check. So on the real pairs, it should be nicely stitched and not really anything like that hanging over the edge. Also, just to elaborate on that a little bit, if you look at the positioning here, you'll see that the X at the end of it finishes in line with this piece of material. So the third bit of material in line from the bottom of the shoe. Whereas on the fake, you'll see that it finishes well above that. So it finishes more in line with this mesh material here. So another little thing to look out for when checking the heels of the shoe. If we pull up the size labels for each shoe as well, you'll see that both of them have the same product code, so they have matched that up on the fake pair, so 9218260001. However, if you look at the real one here, you'll see that again there's a barcode present on the bottom right of the label, which isn't present on the fake pair, just this long barcode across the bottom. Also, just the alignment is completely different, so the real one will have the US size at the top here, and then follow down with the UK, European and the other measurements underneath. Whereas on the fake pair, it just has all of those going across in a line here, horizontally rather than vertically as it is on the real pair. Also, you'll see that the material around the label is a sort of meshy type material, I'd say, that just changes from the actual label in the middle of it. Whereas on the fake one, it's the same pretty much the whole way through. So the label is exactly the same material on the label itself and the bit of material that runs around the outside of it. So if I just put those there again one more time for you to look at, that's what you should be checking when looking at the labels inside the shoes. We now take a look at the soles of the shoe. There's a couple of things to look out for there. So on the real pair here, you'll see as it runs to the heel, this little bit of material goes here, and then you have a little semicircle that you can just see there. This semicircle is wider than this bit of material that's in front of it, so just ever so slightly bigger. Whereas if you look at this same bit on the fake pair, you'll see that this little semicircle is basically the same size as the bit in front of it. So a very minor thing to look out for, but something that is very different, as you can see if I put them side by side. Also, if we look at this Nike swoosh on the bottom here, you'll see that on the real one, the Nike swoosh is very central to the rest of the black material that is placed on there. Whereas if you look at it on the fake pair here, this swoosh is not very central, it's just ever so slightly off. And also it has lots of excess material around it, so lots of white paint and rubber hanging over the edge of it, which isn't going to be present on a real pair. So the real pair there will always be smooth and not have any of this on it. And if we just look at that on the other shoe as well, you'll see again the swoosh on the real pair bang central, whereas on the fake pair the swoosh is just slightly off. So another thing for you to look out for there on the soles of the shoe. So looking at the shoes from above, you can see that on the real pair the toe is very smooth, and something that you should really look out for is this white midsole just poking out around the side. So on real pairs, because of the shape of the shoe, part of this midsole can be seen when looking at them from above. So if I just show that up close, you'll see that there. Whereas on the fake pair, because of the shape of the shoe, it's not done exactly the same. It's just completely one side sort of going round, and the midsole can't be seen at all. So if I just get those up close for you, real one here, just look out for that white bit of the midsole poking out to the outer side of the shoe. Also, if we take a look at the toes of the shoe from this angle here, you'll see that on the real one, this white part of the midsole is completely symmetrical and down the middle of the shoe, whereas on the fake one, you'll see that it's leaning out ever so slightly to the right. So on Air Max 97s and all other Air Max, to be honest, fake ones will have this part of the shoe just symmetrical and down the middle of the shoe. And if it's any different, as it is here on this fake pair, make the assumption that they're fake, because that wouldn't happen on a real pair of the shoes. Looking at the insteps of the shoe, you'll see that on the real pair here, there is this line that's going through the material here in line with this mesh material, and that is present on all real pairs of Air Max 97. So if we look at the fake pair here, you'll see that's not present, and if that isn't present on the pair you've got, then assume that the pair is fake, because all real pairs of Air Max 97 have this little line of material running through here on the instep of the shoe with the mesh. That isn't present on the outside part. If I just show you there, it is only present on the instep. But that is something to look out for, and that will be on both shoes. So if we just take a look at the left shoe as well, on the fake one you'll see that that isn't present, but on the real one, again the same as the right shoe, it is present on the instep but not on the out part. So another thing to look out for there, that is a clear giveaway if a pair is real or fake. One other thing that I didn't point out when we were looking at the toe of the shoe is that on the real pair, at the bottom of the laces, you'll see this little bit of material here has 2 bits of stitching running through there. So it's the same on the left and the right pair. So just at the bottom of the laces, this little semicircle here has stitching to close it on either side. However, if we look at the fake pair, that little bit of material is there obviously at the bottom, but there is no stitching to close it either side. So it is completely open and carries on with the same pattern as the rest of the material running around to it. So if I just put that up close, real pair on the left, fake pair on the right. What you're looking for is that the shoe should have, as it runs around to the toe of the shoe, underneath the laces, this little bit of material here should have 2 bits of stitching either side to close. And as this fake pair here doesn't have it, I assume lots of the other fake pairs won't either. So something else to look out for there on the toe that I didn't mention when we spoke about it already previously in the video. One final thing to look out for is the Nike swoosh in this oval on the tongue of the shoe. So on the real one on the left, you'll see that the Nike swoosh takes up most of the oval here. Whereas on the fake, the Nike swoosh is a lot smaller and doesn't take up all of the oval really. So if I just get that right up close, this is what you're looking for here. This is the real pair, and it should be a lot bigger and take up most of this. If it's small and looking like there's a lot of room around the edge of it still, then assume that the pair is fake. So thanks for watching, and as you can see from the video, there are quite a few things to look out for on Air Max 97s when checking if they are real or fake. If you do still have a pair and you are struggling to authenticate them, then please get in touch with me via the link in the description, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. If you could also please like and subscribe, then that would help me greatly, as it allows me to grow the channel and make more videos like this. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.